Good morning. So I like to get up and think, and I used to like to wake up the house because my mind would just be wandering and wandering, and I'd get bored and wake people up. And now I get up and think I'm gonna just start writing every day, and then formulate thoughts and what I should talk about. I like blogging to myself and out loud, but I also like sharing it. So I've learned to realize that I gotta let the ego go and just be myself, because there are people interested in hearing my mind. I've come to realize that not everybody is a thinker and not everybody thinks the same, and people do have an interest in my mind genuinely, and that's a weird ego trip in itself. But I realize that it's selfish to not let your thoughts to everybody else as well. It's like a weird conundrum. It's hard for me to explain exactly what I'm saying. I feel like I have an ego sitting here in front of the camera and telling about my mind. But, I've had a couple people and lots of conversations in between hearing my thoughts telling me that I should do more. So I guess it's okay then, right? And I was starting to believe in myself and feel like a smarter person and more research and have more experiences. So I've started to do a lot of research into people, because a lot of people are bringing these people to my attention, and they're coming into my feed and algorithms and videos. Usually what I do for a while is I ponder a lot on my own. I do a lot of soul searching within and within nature. And so the people and then I'll do that for a while, then I'll go to researching things that people keep bringing to me, and I'll do one thing for a long, long time, a year or two, nothing but my own observations, my own experiences, think about my life and those experiences. And then I'll do research and watch videos for a while, like a little while, and then I'll get back to my own mind, right? So right now, the people that are sticking out to me are Carl Jung. I don't know if it's Jung or Jung, a thinker. He would classify himself as, I guess. I've only barely touched the surface of him, so I don't really know much. And then Joseph Campbell, same. But they've said some things that I have constantly repeated. And I had an Uber rider ask me, where do I get my knowledge from? And real smart guy, too. Deidre, I think that was their name. There was a couple who got in my car, and they own a graphics printing shop. But I basically just said it all comes within. He asked me who I followed. Not really anybody. I feel like all of my knowledge, it comes from nature, right? And the experience I've had. So a quote by Jung that I wrote down: the only evil in the world is man. And I've said this a lot. I've said it a lot. So it just stuck out to me, because I believe there isn't any evil in the world. It's just the choices that people are making and the energies that they give off. So sometimes those energies flow into other people's lives. So. And then Jung also said, I do not believe, I know. And Joseph Campbell said, I do not need faith, I have experience. And I've said both of these things. And I was just watching Jung. If you think in the lines of nature, you think properly. So I often think that, you heard great minds think alike, and I love that I'm seeing so many more observations and quotes and thoughts being interpreted, or I'm finding them within other, great minds. So I'm glad to know that I'm not crazy, and that I'm not alone, and that I'm onto something, and then now I'm finding people with genius IQs that I can go research, and maybe that I've ventured into their realm of thinking, and now I want to compare apples, I guess, right? I try not to put people on pedestals or idolize anybody. But I love watching what I've watched of Young and Campbell so far. I always heard of like the Joseph Campbell Foundation, but I never really did my research into the guy. But he's interesting. And I like Jung a lot. I just saw this comment on YouTube saying, I'm glad Jordan Peterson is bringing light to Carl Jung's work, which is funny because I've watched a lot of Peterson, and most of it is the right wing versus the liberalism talking points. I haven't heard him speak at all on Jung, which is probably done on purpose. They want you wrapped up in the, well, what do you say, like the nonsense instead of the deep esoteric things. So yeah, go check out Carl Jung and Joseph Campbell. Great thinkers. So that's what I just try to do. I just try to think all the time. Spend a lot of time in solitude. Basically what it is. You go from solitude and nature, and you'll find all your answers, and then you'll bring those answers back, and then they'll just lead to more questions. So you go from solitude to group. It's like checks and balances. That's how my line of thinking goes. So I spend a lot of time inside my own mind, so it's what I think, it's not. And then I find the affirmation when I come back to the group. So everybody has their own way of thinking, I guess. It's a beautiful morning. Still at my aunt and uncle's house. I like it out here. It's nice and cool. Birds chirping, bugs going, birds flying. Anyway, if you got anything I should read or watch, my friend gave me a Carl Jung video. It's called Carl Jung on the Sun, and he's got a lot of quotes and memes in that video. If you look it up, Carl Jung on the Sun, about the personal sun and moon, just slightly said different than me, but I'm pretty mind blown by that video as well. So yeah, I'm not crazy. Anyway, that's the affirmation that you look for within the group, that you're not crazy. But anyway, my uncle's up. He's on the front porch. I'm gonna go hang out with him, see how he's doing.